Welcome aboard our Battleships podcast. This is a podcast analyzing anime relationships, whether they be canon or one the fans enjoy. Please be aware that our battleships are equipped with state-of-the-art weapons designed to leave no ships behind. If there is a ship that you hold dear to your heart, there's a possibility we don't. We are not aiming our cannons at you personally and mean no harm by sharing our opinions with you. We are simply anime fans talking about ships we either love or hate. This is not an informative podcast, so don't take anything we say as gospel. Keep in mind, our sails are painted in the blood of many spoils of war, displaying everything beginning to end. If you haven't seen the anime, we will reveal many of the exciting details to you, so you have been alerted. Again, this is your spoiler warning. Thank you for listening. I will now hand the wheel over to our captains.
Welcome to Battleships, Shipped or Sunk. We're anime fans discussing anime ships that we either love or hate and come to a final decision. Do we ship the pairing or do we sink it with our cannons? Pew pew pew.
Kaboom.
My name is Kaylee, and I'm the asexual that somehow came up with this romance podcast.
I am still befuddled by this.
I mean, I think I will be for the rest of my life. I mean, I was watching, I'll get into it, but this couple makes me so happy. So.
Hi, I'm Zephyra, and swimming is my sport.
Okay, yeah. I hate swimming, though. You know that. You try to drag me swimming, and I'm like, no, you won't catch me alive. Unless if it's the beach. I'll go to the beach to swim.
That would have been entertaining to watch. Kaylee be like, no.
You would go farther than your waist at the beach.
I do go snorkeling a little bit here and there.
But I don't blame her. I don't trust what's in that freaking ocean. Like, hell no. If a fish touched me, I am out. And my name is Juno, and talking about sports, my sport would be figure skating.
Oh, I love figure skating.
Oh, I love watching it. It's just beautiful.
How are you on the ice?
I'm actually pretty decent, but I don't know how I'd feel about doing any jumps. I have a feeling I'd wipe out.
Yeah, no. I guess maybe I should specify what sport is mine, because I didn't say any, and now I feel left out. Yeah, golf. Golf. I did golf in high school. That's why. Otherwise, I would say probably volleyball. I like volleyball a lot.
Yeah, I'm not really into sports, but I mean, I'd go swimming and figure skating. I would do that. But
there. Alrighty, well, we'll be starting our episode off with our roll for ships. This is a list of romance questions that we carefully came up with, and we will be rolling a D100 to determine the question. We will answer before we talk about Joe and Cherry. Let's roll.
Woohoo! The clickety-clacks must clickety-clack.
Yes. The clickety-clacks shall reign supreme. We've got a 77.
Ooh.
Hey, this is actually kind of funny. What is one of the first same-sex anime couples that you started shipping? I think this is
an easy one for me. Lamwonji and Wei Wuxian. They were my first.
From
Dao Zu Shi, or also known as
The Grim.
The Grim.
The horror. No.
Well, Wei Wuxian is a necromancer.
That is true.
But from the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, or the live action is The Untamed.
Yep. It was a good one. There's a reason I showed it to you.
Yeah.
I adore it. They're one of my favorites. And yeah, you two dragged me into that one too.
Yep. Ha ha ha.
Kidnapped and dragged. And I just had to go with it because there was no fighting them.
And now we have the official translation, and I'm so happy.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Juno.
Oh, okay, my turn. Whoop. One of my first gay couples I ever shipped was actually Victor and Yuri from Yuri on Ice.
That was one of my first as well. They were one of the first to like openly get traction here in the US.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a lot in the Yuri on Ice episode.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if I knew it was going to be a gay romance or not, but I remember getting really into it and really enjoying the story.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I don't know. I don't remember what my second one was. But yeah, then after that, I started looking into those kind of shows. Just because it was so good. It was so, so good.
It was. Well, damn, now I got to think of something else.
Let's go. Did I steal your answer?
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, I've used this anime for like 3 fucking answers, and I don't want to keep repeating the same anime every single time. But the first gay relationship I ever shipped was Fi and Kurogane from Tsubasa Chronicles. And like I said, I've said that 1.5 million times, so I don't want to say it again.
Well, if it's good, it's good. If it's good to say it 3 times, that means it's really good.
That's true. Guys, I'm sad. Okay, well, I didn't ship them initially until I started reading the manga for it, but Farid Bathory and Crowley from Seraph at the End. Holy shit, they're so fucking gay in the manga, and I love it.
Fucking Farid.
Fucking Farid, man, though.
Yeah, I haven't read the manga for that one yet, so
I need to pick it back up because there's so much that has happened since I last read it. But there's one scene where Farid is like falling to his death or something like that, and Crowley like catches him in the middle of the air, and it was just the most, oh my gosh, this is so gay moment out there. So yeah, I 100%. That was one of the first ones, so that'll be my answer. Alrighty, fellow shippers, it is time to talk about today's couple.
Woot, woot,
We've
woot.
got Joe and Cherry Blossom.
Cherry!
Or if we want to use their real names, hold on, I wrote them down because I was never remembering.
Kaoru and Kojiro.
Yeah, so it's Kaoru Sakurayashiki and Kojiro Nanjo.
The calligrapher and chef.
Thirsty Gorilla. And
And the 4 eyes.
Yep, and 4 eyes, or what was another nickname that he called him?
There was a lot.
There
guys.
was a lot. Yeah, it was always like Thirsty Gorilla or something for Joe. And then there was one that I really liked and I forgot it. Fuck! Hopefully I remember it by the end of today.
No. The curse is that you don't remember until after.
I'll tweet about it. Just kidding. What's Twitter? Not existent. Anyway, let's talk about their looks. We've got big, broad, muscly, green-haired dude, hazel eyes, slight tan, always without a shirt almost.
Unless he's working. And very flirtatious with all the women. That cheater.
Yep. He's
Unless he's trying to make a Cherry jealous.
Yeah, well, time will tell. We're going to talk about that later. But let's talk about, I think Cherry is such an interesting character design in the fact that he is kind of petite, but in the Hot Springs episode, he has some muscle on him that is always hiding.
Yeah. The clothes he chooses to wear fits him so well that it does make him look that petite. And
yeah, compared to Joe's big bulky frame, yeah, Cherry in comparison, yeah, does have more of a petite look, but he's still very muscled himself.
And mom hair. I'm just glad it's only half the time, so it's not coming true.
Oh, I mean, he did get smacked hard in the face with a skateboard.
That's why it's only half.
That's why it's only half.
If he only wore it half the time, that's the worst thing that could happen.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He has it up in a high ponytail the other half of the time.
But his style really complements his looks. I really like Cherry's design in that aspect.
I think both of them are very iconic characters, which I think matches this anime to a T because all of the characters are very recognizable. They have aspects of them that make it easy to tell them when you're at a convention and stuff and see people cosplaying them. I like them when they're side by side because they do contrast each other in a lot of different ways.
They do. But I do like they're also pretty much the same height, pretty much. Like they're very, very close.
They are. I like a height difference, but it does kind of get old after a while.
But I also think it matches this couple in particular for them to be kind of more eye level with each other. Personally. And I mean, you mentioned earlier that like Joe had like more hazel eyes, but apparently, according to the thing, it said he had red eyes. I kind of took him as brown.
Really? I think it depends on what picture you look at, because most of them that I saw, it was more hazily brown.
I would take that more brown than red is what I should have saw. I was like, it's not red.
It's not red. Adam's eyes are red.
Yeah. Adam is red. He is more brown.
Yeah.
That earthy brown. Like his whole look is that earthy color.
And then Cherry has the really pretty gold eyes, which I really do like. But one thing I really like about their hair colors, though, to me, it's the cherry blossoms. Like it's the flower with the green leaves around it. I don't know. I just liked that because I was just like,
It does. It works really well together.
It does.
Yeah. What about personalities? Do we dare dive into that?
Well, Cherry, he's a very smart, intelligent, and he made Carla.
Well, and he's so fucking proud of Carla, too. Oh, he's so defensive and he's so proud of it. And that is almost a character trait in of itself.
She is his child.
Yep.
But I don't blame him, though, considering how important Carla is to him with everything she assists him with.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can see why, he would get defensive if people go after Carla. Because to me, that is something he created for himself. So no wonder he would get super defensive. And yeah, like Zephra said, yes, he is very intelligent. But when you first meet him, he's very calm, you know? He talks very levelly. And he's just that kind of person you would be like, oh, this person is really level-headed and someone I can depend on. That's kind of the vibe I got from Cherry.
Except for when Joe's around.
Except for when Joe's around. That's when you see the temper and you're like, whoa. Like, if there's anyone who can fire him up, it's Joe.
And all it takes is just seeing his face sometimes.
And he's just like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And then Joe is very confident in himself.
Yep.
I mean, you see him, what's the word?
Strut?
Yeah, he struts for sure. But he can attract all these women.
He's very flirtatious and he has the charisma to boot.
Yes.
He is very charismatic and he draws all the ladies to him and he loves it. He thrives in that. And then he gets so disappointed when something comes in the way of that too. It's very funny.
He's like, no,
you have the worst timing, Reki. What the hell?
The beach scene.
Beach scene, yes.
We'll get to that.
But I'm just saying. But I don't know. I feel like in those different like contrasts with both Joe and Cherry that they complement each other very well.
Well, and another thing is we've been talking about differences. There's a lot of similarities in their personality, too. They take the father's position of the bunch of children that they're surrounded by so well. They're giving them advice. They're like watching over them. It's so cute how quickly they pick up that role and how little they complain about it.
That is true. I kind of saw it more as like older brothers taking younger brothers under their wing.
Yeah, don't you know? Shadow is their dad, their driver.
That's true. Shadow's the dad.
The babysitter.
The babysitter, dad, driver. But yeah, they are the definite took on the role models, the kind of parenting older brother to take care of these kids.
Yeah, but also that they're both like successful in their own businesses. Because Joe has an Italian restaurant and Cherry has his own calligraphy. Yeah.
An Italian restaurant in Japan. I don't know how common that is, but
yeah, that they both run their own businesses.
Yeah.
Which is awesome for both of them. They both have that drive.
And that night, they're able to do what they enjoy with skateboarding, exceed and excel. Like, it's mentioned they're on a whole nother level than most skaters.
Yep.
And they're both that way. They're both a part of S, and they've been skating together for years. They both have a passion for it.
They're one of the
another
founders.
similarity.
Yep, they're the founders.
Yeah.
Those two and Adam.
Well, their first meeting is kind of an interesting one because up until this point, yeah, Cherry was very chill. Every scene that we saw him, he was at S during the competition, but he was still like analyzing Longa's performance, being like, yeah, he's a snowboarder, and you know, the way he was distributing his weight, whatever.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to pick up on that so quickly too.
Mm-hmm. And then enter in Joe when he's in his restaurant meeting with a client. And as soon as that client turns and looks away, Joe tries to talk, and Cherry immediately rebuttals like, I'm at work, you idiot. I am busy.
But it's funny, like, they give the impression that they don't know each other first. Like, that's how they kind of played it off as, like, oh, these two are strangers. But then the moment, the client steps away, he's just like, then you realize, oh, they know each other because there's immediate banter and then the insults.
Yeah,
like, and then the client turns around and they're all acting natural and normal. Turns back and they're back at each other.
Yeah. They're putting on this whole facade. But a big part of it is S is a secret. You know, they're not supposed to openly advertise their interactions. And how in the heck would the calligraphy artist, author, whatever, know a random Italian joint owner? You know, there would have to be some explanation. And I think they were definitely very smart to play like they don't know each other.
True, but they could, if they needed a story, it's just that he's a very famous calligrapher and Joe runs a very nice Italian restaurant. So it could be seen that he just likes to visit and they got to know each other because of that. But point is, yeah, it's like in the real world, why would they know each other?
Mm-hmm.
The fact, like, you know, Joe's wanting to talk to him about it. Like, did you see Shadow's defeat? And he's like, nope, we're not talking about this now. And then he, like, starts, like, eating from the food he's supposed to be serving. And Cherry, like, takes it. And, I mean, in the English dub, he says, like, I ordered it. But in the other one, he's just like, no, this is mine, or whatever. Yeah. But then the fact they start, like, fighting with each other, like smacking at each other. It's like, okay, yeah, these guys are more than familiar with each other.
I think it's also so funny when they go to S and you know, everybody's freaking out. Oh my goodness, it's Joe and Cherry and they're
Joe and his pecs or Joe and his abs.
Yeah.
And then like,
Lady Cherry.
Oh, he would punch someone. I'm sorry.
That would be something Joe would call him, though, because he calls him a princess.
That's true. Yeah. Don't let Joe hear me then. Oh my God. Cherry would come after me. But Lord Cherry, just like all the girls squealing over him, just like how much they are both loved at S, and like people freak out whenever they see him. No matter how many times they do show up, it's every time screaming of joy and being like, oh, show us what you can do, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Wow. But then the fact when they start skating down the track together, they start bickering again. And they're like swinging each other. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
It's so funny that Joe is making jabs at like Cherry and Carla, and the fact that Cherry is a wuss because he needs Carla's precise measurements and stuff in order to skate. And I'm trying to remember how Cherry reacts by telling Carla to assess Joe. And like Joe the imbecile is rated at like a 40%, which is not efficient or something like that. And then it just continues this bickering. And I'm almost like, okay, if he has Joe the imbecile saved on Carla to like constantly refer to,
Though I gotta admit that they do acknowledge each other's abilities. They do know. though they never talk about it in front of each other.
Only
analyzing when the other is skating and they're talking to the kids about it. Because, like, Cherry's explaining that only Joe and his type of technique can pull this type of stuff off. And Joe makes comments about because of Carla, Cherry is able to pull or do, or he has the understand what Cherry is doing to be able to do.
Yeah. Well, especially when they're skating against, in Cherry's case, skating against Adam later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And the fact that they both know they can brawl with each other on their skateboards while they're going down this track that's like really fast, and knowing that they're going to be fine, even though they're smacking at each other, just like how they shove each other. Just it's like, oh my gosh, guys. I cannot imagine how entertained S is every time they see them go down the track together. They don't have to go down the track together, but the fact that they still do when they're bickering, it's like, I wonder if they make bets about who's going to win the fight. Like, the verbal fight and the skating fight. Like I think he's gonna pull ahead, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna win the argument that they're having right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of betting on S. I would not be surprised if that was in the options as well.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
It is.
But it also shows Joe is a very powerful, his muscles and how strong he is, and the fact that Cherry's still able to push him around is saying I think both of that Joe's not using all of his strength and Cherry is strong enough to withstand his blows.
I think Joe purposefully overreacts.
Oh yeah.
I think honestly, and this is especially when in the episode where they were watching, I think it was the tournament, the pre-qualifiers or something, and Joe insults Cherry and Carla again, and he's like, Carla, and Carla rams into his ankle, and then he's just like hopping around and crying or whatever, like squeaking, and then Cherry goes to walk away and Joe trips him.
I love that scene.
And then there's the other scene where Joe made a jab, and out of frustration, Cherry does that spin kick him in the butt.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it's because in that moment they're betting on who's going to win this beef. It was Mia and Longa at the time.
Yeah.
And it's because he called him by his actual name. He's like, let's bet on this, Kaoru. And then immediately Cherry just like, do not call me by that name here. Dimwit! And then kicks him. And the fact that, Joe doesn't like actually hit back, he just goes, hoo, 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 hoo.
It's almost like he got an excitement out of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this horny son of a bitch.
But I just thought it was funny, just the whole dynamic of being like let's do this. No.
They flip on a dime and it's so funny to watch. But do you want to know something that I love? They're always together watching the competitions at S. Without fail, they're both there. And other than the very first time in the first episode, they're together in the crowd. And they're making bets. They're talking about the technique. They're talking about how much Longa improved, whatever it may be.
That is true. And I mean, considering how much they bicker, quotation marks, like they don't have to stand by each other and interact with each other. If they really wanted to, they could avoid each other at S. Mm-hmm. But the fact they still stand together, even though they're going to bicker about something else in a minute, like,
yeah. I want to mention something, and this is more speculation and headcanoning than it is actually in the show. Does anyone notice that it's mostly Joe going to Cherry and not Cherry going to Joe?
Well, Joe is a thirsty gorilla, so Cherry just has to. Cherry's very attractive, so
yeah, he's very charismatic, so he's going to be the one to reach out. But I think it's so interesting that 9 times out of 10, Cherry's the one that wants to be alone, and Joe is like the time to pester him kind of type. And we're gonna get into Adam and all of that shit later, but I think a lot of it has to play with that.
But I can also see like Cherry going to Joe too, because I mean, there's that instance like where Reki is desperate to learn more about Adam for Longa's sake.
Yes,
and then they didn't have to go to Joe's restaurant. Like they could have met up somewhere else. But the fact that Cherry takes them to Joe's restaurant, and they're immediately just like, ooh, food and all this stuff. And he's like, what are you doing here? It's closed. And Cherry just like, he just blows him off. Like, he doesn't even care. He's just like, nope, we're here, you know?
And then while this describing Adam's technique, he's using Joe as an example.
Yes! He's using, as the victim and the one being, attacked by the love
close.
You're too close. Hi there.
Yeah, I love how he gets all close and he's like, hello. And then Joe, like, I think he's pretending to be irritated, but he's just like, but in reality, he's like, come closer.
In front of the kids. In front of the kids. We're going to do this in front of the kids.
Yeah. But in the sub, Cherry said, like, so close. Like, kind of like, like, as they got close.
And that is one of the moments where they start being, kind of a parent couple or, an older brother dynamic, if you want to look at it as that.
Yeah, that's when I can see them.
Others.
Yeah, join the group, essentially. Like, that's when they, take on the older brother role.
Oh, and then there's the beach.
Yes.
I know we're jumping around.
I actually want to talk about one more thing about the last scene. There is a fact that Joe was like, get out of my shop. We're closed. I want to go home kind of thing. And then by the end of it, he is with Cherry Blossom trying to help the kids. I think that's so cute in the fact that he's not like continuing to stew in like, out of my fucking store. I want to go home. I want to go sleep. I want to go to S, whatever it may be. Like, he's willing to humor Cherry Blossom and what they're doing for Reki and manga.
But the fact that he also listened to Cherry Blossom why they were there, and then he realized like the situation. And then also the fact when they were like, we want ramen, he's like, this is an Italian restaurant, but it's obvious he cooks for them because of all the dirty plates. I'm like, so then he's like, fine. But yeah, he humored Cherry Blossom and took this all on.
Yeah, he has a very caring soul. They both do. And I think that's something that kind of gets overshone by all the bickering and the funny antics and stuff like that happens in the show.
They do. That's another similarity they have. They both are caring. And again, the big brother role for all the same kids.
Yep.
Oh, and then, so at the beach, first they on the boat to the beach.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's start with the boat because
I love the fact that first that they're horrified in quotation marks when, Joe runs into the boys first and is just like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And then they hear the master, it is time to wake up. Yeah. And he's like, I know that voice.
And Cherry's like, gets up, wakes up, looks around, and is like, what are you doing here?
The fake horror.
And as they're like, oh, why are we here? We're here for the hot springs. We're here for a vacation. And as they're going around, you can just see their faces just like blank. Like, oh no, I am stuck with this bozo here.
But then the fact they just accept it and they all skate off together to the beach, that, Joe doesn't go off with the girls and Cherry doesn't try to sneak off. Like, that they joined the boys again.
Yes. And they're still bickering. They're still bickering about the umbrella. And what was the line? Like,
he needs to protect his porcelain skin or something like that.
And he's
charring his testicles for the locals in heat. There's all of that.
Gorilla.
So yeah, they have such a familiar, funny attitude towards each other, and I love that so much for this couple.
Let's talk about when Joe was flirting with those two girls on the beach.
Yes.
They're like, okay, the others are getting together like, oh, he's at it again. Come on, we gotta stop this. And Shadow's like, I'll take care of it. And like, no, you'll just make it worse.
It's true. And then Mia's like, fine, I'll take over this. And gets up, wanders over. And Daddy. And like Joe's horrified face of like, what?
All of their faces. And the fact that the animation just makes their eyes little black dots. Like, oh, fuck. Like, what the fuck did you just say?
And then the fact that then Mia just crouches down, like looking all cute. And he's like, Mom said if you don't get back soon, she'll kill you. And he points to Cherry.
And at first you see Joe looking at the lake that's like crawling up. He's going blush. And then it gets to the face and he's like,
deadpan, like, what the fuck? But he blushes.
He does. So here's the thing. It purposefully panned from the feet up to the legs, up to his chest. Like, why are you looking down there, Joe? I think we all know the answer, but
But then the fact he was actually checking Cherry out, and then the blush of being like, ooh, I like what I see. And then he like has that panic of really realizing it's Kaoru that he's checking out. And good thing Kaoru was asleep, because he probably would like, what the fuck? And then like Mia looks so proud, like a little cat clinging to him, and as the ladies rush away, and he's like, victory, and everyone's like, yeah.
And Joe's like, no way, this kids.
Still, the fact Joe checked out Cherry.
So hilarious. And then they get to the hotels.
okay, yes, let's talk about this. Yes, they get to the hotel, and it's following, obviously, Reki and Longa, because those are the main characters.
Yeah.
And so they're seeing this really crummy hotel. And then Joe is like, oh, is this where the party is? Okay, no, this isn't good. Let's go pester Kaoru instead. And then they go invade Kaoru's place as he's trying to work.
Well, but then the fact that there's also so much food, it's like Joe planned this. I have a feeling that he somehow was like, he needs extra food somehow. Because like there was no way they would serve that much food to just one individual. Because even he was confused, like, why are there so many trays of
How
food?
much do they think I eat?
Yeah. Then the fact that Joe comes in and is like, dinner's better with company, bringing in the boys. And then Cherry's like, oh my God.
Crap, you've brought the kids.
Oh, for the love. And you brought the kids. So at first he was just grumpy, and then he realized, wait, and he brought the kids. He wanted to be alone with him.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Probably did, but then the fact that like Joe goes over and goes, don't worry, big bro's got it on the house, essentially. And Kaoru was at first like, huh? And then he turns on him, he's like, what? And then Joe has that sneaky little face. This was totally planned. Joe did this all on purpose to ensure there was enough food for everybody so he could just bring everyone in and be like, ta-da!
Yeah, total Big Brother. One way to take care of the kids and to pester Kaoru.
Do you want to know what it is, though? It's payback for Cherry bringing them to Joe's restaurant.
Oh my gosh! The fact that then they can poke each other like this, it's like poking the bear. They enjoy doing this to each other.
And they're on the same damn wavelength, too.
I did not pick up on that myself, and oh my God. That is so true.
Okay, time to talk about the mud monster.
Oh my God.
Actually, wait. Before that, when Mia is telling the horror story and Joe is like, do you hear those sounds? And scares the crap out of Reki. And then Cherry plays along with it. With the, there's one down. And there's two down. And there's three.
Total like, Big Brother move.
Those two got on the same wavelength. Again, same wavelength of, okay, now let's scare the kids together without communicating.
And then the fact that they're all like, yes, let's have a big race, to the hot springs. What we came here for.
Yep.
Of course, Cherry and Joe gets there safely without any trouble.
Okay, there's one thing about the race I want to mention, though.
Oh.
Cherry maps out which one has the least amount of elevation. Joe follows him. After that calculation,
true.
After teasing the shit out of him and Carla for like calculating shit, he follows Cherry to the hot spring.
He knows Carla is right, and that would be the fastest.
Yeah, so there's multiple reasons, and I just thought it was so funny because then they get to the hot springs, obviously, and then they're arguing who got there first because Joe's like, yeah, we totally beat them there, and then Cherry's like, no, it wasn't we. I got here first.
But I just thought as like Joe wanting to compete against Cherry, with his AI skating versus his.
Yes.
Just being as they are, like being like, I'm going to beat you this time. No, it's going to be me.
I want to know their counter. How many times has Cherry beaten Joe and vice versa? I need a stat list.
I want to see their beef.
That
I want
too.
to see them properly skate against each other, not just the fun cruising down the course fighting each other.
That is true.
But I like that during the conversation, you can really tell how they know each other. Because like Cherry brings up the fact that like Joe likes haunted houses. And Joe's like, well, yeah, because then the chicks all grab onto me because they're scared. And Cherry's like, you're such a scumbag. Like, but the fact that they know each other that well to know like what they like and dislike.
That shows that they spend more time with each other than what is let on to believe.
Plus, they known each other since probably high school.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's high school.
That's what I gauged was high school time.
Yeah, I was like, it could be college, I guess, but it's definitely one of the two. I think it's high school.
But still, it's like they know each other, and that also proves that they've spent a lot more time with each other than just what is shown.
Yeah.
Then the fact that they both get spooked together by the mud monsters.
Oh my goodness. It's pretty great too. I'm trying to look through my list, guys. I have so many pages of notes. It's not even funny.
My goodness.
They're past and Adam.
Yeah, I guess
I'm not ready to talk about that yet. Because the one moment I do want to talk about is like what you brought up earlier is when they both appear at S and they end up walking into each other's paths, and he's just like, out of the way, scrawny boy, and like bumps Cherry away, and Cherry's just like, humans come first, you ape, and like kicks at him. And then Joe insults Carla hits his ankle, he falls down after yelping in pain. And then he trips up Cherry, who face plants.
Yeah.
And then they start arguing as they usually do. But I love it in the English dub that Cherry tells him to stop pointing at him and he needs to learn to be nice.
He's like purposefully belittling him, and it's kind of funny because it's all in playful manners.
Yeah, because like in the sub, they're just like bickering about like, don't rely on machines so much, weak ass 4 eyes. And then Cherry being just like, you muscle-brained gorilla. But I definitely liked the dub more in that scene where like, you need to learn to be nice. And then the fact that Reki and Mia are watching this and they're like, those two are going at it as always. AKA aggressive flirting again.
I know you don't want to talk, but we do. It's part of their history and
Fuck it.
So, from the back scenes, from what we could tell, Cherry and Joe already knew each other before they met Adam.
Yeah, because they were in the same group when they approached each other, because Adam was approaching from a different group.
And they known each other, from the sounds of it, they known each other, were close. And then after Adam left to America for who knows how many years, when he came back, he changed and was different. And Cherry and Joe kept trying to chase after him and figure out what's going on. And warning him, hey, what the fuck's happening? You gotta stop this. You're hurting people.
I think there's also a level of we want to just skate like we used to. There's a certain element of it of, they wanted to see if they could do that again. And then they were sorely disappointed, obviously, later on.
And as the years, ever since he came back, they tried to beef or try and force Adam to race with them, but he always declined or avoided them.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene, though, that was obviously from the high school days, because you can tell by the clothes they were wearing.
Yeah.
Before Adam left, he was challenging that one kid to be his Eve, but then the kid fell off the cliff. And,
yeah.
Cherry and Joe show up and they're like, what are you doing? Like, this is reckless. So I already feel like that the relationship was already kind of going downhill before Adam left for America.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the conversation where he's like, I'm leaving tomorrow happened like the day or two after that.
One thing I kind of hate, but it is a headcanon, that Cherry had a thing for Adam.
Oh, it's so fucking obvious.
Like,
okay, let's talk about this.
So in the flashback, in Cherry's POV of flashbacks, he highly admired and cared and probably had a huge crush on Adam.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I saw it. And then after they whole left, things changed. But
okay, here's where I'm going to start talking about some deep shit. You guys ready? I don't think you guys are ready for this. So Cherry, I think very clearly had something for Adam. The fact that when Adam caught him from falling, he had a blush on his face. I mean, duh.
Yeah.
Another thing, and I mentioned this before we started recording, cherry blossoms are the sign of love, and Adam is the matador of love.
Ick.
Yeah, it's the biggest ick. But I think that could play into confirming that there was something more than friendship potentially between the two of them, especially since Adam reacted the way he did when he realized he was skating against Cherry during the tournament. But another thing I want to mention is Cherry acts in the current timeline like someone who kind of rejects love because they were hurt by it before. I think that could be a big factor of why Cherry doesn't go to Joe as often as Joe goes to him, if that makes sense.
I could see that.
He's worried of being hurt again.
I feel that. I
don't know. That's probably my own headcanon, but I see a lot of things that remind me of aspects that are very similar to myself. Me and other people that I know who have been hurt by someone are more hesitant to be around people similar to them or that are associated with that individual that hurt you.
Or remind you, or around people or things that remind you of them.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing that reminds him of Adam is skating. But skating is such a big thing for them. That's one thing he can never let go of.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I would love to know if Joe had to convince Cherry to keep skating. I would love a fanfic where maybe it's during this time where Adam's in America and Cherry maybe doesn't have the desire to skate and Joe is just like, hey, let's go skating. Let's just go skating and just for old sake. And then he finds the love for it again. I need a fanfic, guys. I got too many fanfic ideas. I'm not writing this one.
And then when they were talking before the beef, when Cherry and Joe were talking about why won't Adam skate with us, Joe was doing that whole of, oh, he's probably scared of getting his ass beat, joking because he knows that's not true. But Cherry also seemed to have understood Adam a little bit more, but still not fully know just how much Adam has changed.
And I did think that Cherry was being more intense than Joe with the beef against Adam.
Oh, yes. I agree. Because every single moment Adam shows up, Cherry mentions something about it. And especially during the tournament when Joe and Cherry are at one of the spots that they used to practice all the time, Joe is mentioning, hey, isn't this the first place that you nailed? What was it? Like a certain
some trick.
Yeah, some trick. And then Cherry immediately brings up Adam again.
So, which brings to, even though it's been years, Adam is still a big emotional hurt in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that Joe knew he could find Cherry there.
Mm-hmm.
He found Cherry there, and then he got off his motorcycle and started talking to him, and then was talking about the trick and everything, because he was kind of asking, like, are you sure you're going to ask Adam for a beef now that he's back, since he showed up because he was interested in Longa?
Yeah.
Mm. And saying the complicated feelings, knowing that the crush you had left
and came back like a completely different person.
And in love with a high schooler.
Ugh. But then the fact, like, right before Adam and Cherry have their beef, that Joe goes back up to the beginning of the race and calls out, to Cherry and he goes running over, like he's worried about how this is going to go down because they've all seen how Adam has been acting recently with all his other races. And he's just like, don't worry about me, you dopey gorilla, like, they can stand down. And then, of course, Joe gets exasperated with him again and just like, I get a laugh at you if you lose this.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but also kind of ick that even Adam notices it and makes a comment. Oh, this is cute. I think we're supposed to start a race right now. I'm like, oh, okay. So they're making it very obvious. And Adam is like,
But I also kind of think Adam pointed out because he was feeling kind of jealous, because he had been looking for someone to be his Eve, to be at his side. But then seeing that, Cherry and Joe had gotten really close while he was away, too. That would have been like, ooh, and that he didn't like seeing that. So he, said something because he was just like, stop it, get away, like, I don't want to see this because, he's trying so hard to get close to Longa.
I want my Eve. You guys are not allowed to have yours.
Especially since all three of them are the founders of S, and he's the one who's off the side.
Yep.
He's the side dish. And then Adam strikes Cherry with his skateboard.
First during the race, Cherry knows Adam's and his moves, most of his moves, so he's able to dodge or move around it. And I think it also enraged Adam more when Cherry made the comment of, I still can read you. Like, you haven't changed that much. And Adam made it, I feel like it made him want to do more damage to prove him wrong.
Yeah, that was... Zephyra can attest to this, but the first time I watched this with her, I probably let out this horrifying squeal shriek the first time I watched Adam strike Cherry. And of course, this girl laughs at me because
I can laugh because did I have a sim reaction or worse?
No, I think we might have been watching it together because I was watching it every week as it was coming out.
Yeah.
And I think we both were like,
we've had the same reaction or had the same. So that's how I was able to laugh, is because I felt that.
But that was really hard for me to watch, especially seeing like how he was thinking back about their times together, just the three of them, just shattering and realizing it's over. That hurt me internally too for Cherry.
But no.
He had to be in the hospital for days, and he had Carla as a wheelchair because it probably caused damages that it was not safe for him to walk around.
Yeah.
In case there was a seizure, or I don't know how head traumas work, but
it all depends on...
It all depends, but it probably was not safe for him to even walk around.
This episode is so heavy on these two, by the way. When Joe was skating against Longa, there is the one singular time that Cherry uses Joe's real name. And that is right when he was about to lose. Then, of course, Joe has already used Cherry's real name multiple times. But of course, when he gets knocked out, Joe goes to Cherry's side, crying out to him, like, are you okay? Kind of thing, stay with me, get up.
But he doesn't call him Cherry, he calls him Kaoru.
Yeah, he calls him Kaoru.
And telling him to get a grip on himself, at least in the sub. And then, Adam's just standing there to the side, and when he says something snitty, I forget exactly what he said to Joe, but the fact that Joe was like getting really angry, and I felt like he was going to punch Adam in that moment of like, Adam, you son of a... He
was ready to fight, but then was it Shadow?
Yeah, Shadow drove up the car and was like, hey, we gotta get him to the fucking hospital right now because he's got 2 blunt force traumas. We gotta go.
This is not the time to fight Adam. We need to get him out of here.
Yeah.
And the fact that Joe listens and scoops Kaoru up and runs to the car with him.
Bridal style, by the way.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Shadow had not shown up, I could see Joe going at Adam and fighting him.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But the fact that Joe was first there.
Yeah.
He raced to Kaoru's side.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when Cherry does escape the hospital, probably earlier than he should, he goes to Joe's restaurant. That's the first place this man goes. He could have gone home, could have gone to someone else maybe if there was someone that we're just not aware of, but he went to Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe, even though he knows he has the injuries, he's still like, okay, I'll get the wine. And it's like, okay, is this all right? Looks over and
Cherry's out cold.
He's out cold. Not too surprised, man. He just had a head trauma, heavy head trauma, but he still pours the wine. And did anybody wrote down what he said? I wish I remember. It was something really sweet or good, if I remember correctly.
It was something along the lines, at least, that they don't skate alone, that they have each other.
Yeah.
And he smiles so affectionately at Cherry and calls him Kaoru again. Just the fact that he calls him by his real name as much as he can. And it's always with such more, like, for me, like a more affectionate tone that he uses.
You have his words?
Yeah, I have the exact quote because I wrote it down. I felt bad that you were the only one writing down quotes, Juno. So I decided to start writing down quotes.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I do too many quotes. I try not to, but there's just a couple I'm going to try to do from now on. But anyway.
Well, this one, at least we got this. We're not alone. Know what I mean, Kaoru? At least that's it in the dub. And the way, the voice actors do so amazing in this show. I love the English voice acting for this. It is so tender, his voice towards Kaoru. It's so sweet. Makes my little heart melt. I remember when I very first watched it, I'm like, oh, I was kind of on the fence of shipping them before I really ship them now. That was the moment where I was like, oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was pretty affectionate too in the sub.
Mm-hmm.
Just, Cherry wasn't even awake to hear him say his name so affectionately.
Oh, but if he heard it, he would have been like, don't fool me there.
Dim-witted gorilla.
Okay, I said I was going to mention something about Joe's restaurant earlier. Now I feel like it's the right time. There are extra bits of information given on the preview of the next episode because it'll show the pictures of the next episode, but the voiceover, at least in the English, tells more of a story. And in one of them, this was earlier, it was Joe and Cherry talking. And Joe started teasing Cherry about not liking ramen. And he only likes Italian, or that his favorite food is Italian food. What is Joe's restaurant?
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Excuse me. He went there not only for the comfort food, probably, but he also went there for Joe. And to be able to talk through this, because he also came to the realization that, yeah, Adam is not the same, and we're never going to have what we had.
But we have each other.
But we have each other.
I feel like throughout this, since after Adam left or all of that, Cherry started getting a lot closer with Joe. But when Adam returned and he's finally, every time Adam comes up, I think there's that slight hope or that slight of some of those feelings keeps coming back. And after that hit, it's confirmed that Adam, or at least in his art, it's confirmed that Adam really is gone. There's no way he's coming back. He's no longer, there's no part of him that's the same.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting that Joe's like, I want nothing to do with this guy. During that race between Cherry and Adam, solidified in Joe's mind that this dude is not one that they want to fuck around with.
Not worth associating with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And again, reaffirming that to Cherry while he's passed out, at least we have, each other, that it's us now.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so funny that when Reki is facing off with Adam, Joe and Cherry are both there, as they are with every beef.
But I love it because Cherry is still injured and he has to come in a wheelchair. But the fact he still shows up.
Yeah.
And then when he leaves, he's like, I'm leaving. Push me.
Well, it was more like, I want to go to the finish line. And then he turns to Joe, push me. And then the fact that Joe sighs, but does as he is told. He's like, don't sound so high and mighty. What happened to Carla? At least that's what he says in the sub, but I know that he says something about calling Kaoru a princess in the English dub.
All right, princess, where's Car?
But it's just cute that he does push Kaoru down to the finish line.
Yes. When Reki dodges Adam's attack that had knocked out Cherry, Joe is mesmerized and kind of speechless. And Cherry just is fucking losing it. He is laughing his head off.
But he starts laughing after Adam face plants in the mud because he slips. He slips up.
He first
and he goes, boom, remember?
So he swings, misses, and that force of the swing and the mud got him to slip and face plants and
the mud.
Carl's like, ha ha ha, karma.
Well, he's like, at least in the sub, he goes, Adam of all people, and starts laughing. And then at first, Joe almost sounds looks mesmerized by Cherry laughing, almost like he's in awe that he's laughing at this. But then he realizes how funny it is
and starts laughing too.
But the fact that they're laughing together over the fact that Adam fucked up.
I mean, I'd be fucking laughing the way I was.
Oh my God, just how dramatic Adam was in the mud after just in our I would have joined Cherry and Joe and laughing at that moment. It's are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, and then of course he goes berserk.
Yeah. Well, and at the very end, when he has won against Reki, he is marching towards Reki because he's fucking pissed. He got humiliated. And Joe and Cherry both kind of step in to be like, no. Again, that protective older sibling or parent relationship they have.
I think a better description is that guardian.
I see it more as older brothers. I totally love this group being as brothers.
Well, and I think it's so interesting and actually really nice that their bickering and stuff continues despite, because in the last few episodes, it's more emotional driven because obviously Cherry's injured and stuff like that. And Joe is being more careful around him. But in the very last episode, some of the last scenes, Joe is on a date with a bunch of girlies and they want to go get a signature from a famous calligrapher. And he signs it, gives it to Joe, and then Joe rips it and grabs him by the shirt. And then Cherry paints freaking raccoon eyes on Joe.
But I love that he's just oh, you think you can, and grabs Cherry, and then Cherry just fine, paints all over his face. But then the fact originally that Joe was even good to get in line with the girls, with Cherry knowing it's Cherry. Yeah. Well, I mean, what did he expect to get something heartfelt?
Cherry, no, it's Cherry.
You misspoke, but it's fine.
I cannot talk. I'm laughing too much, you guys.
We'll have to turn off Zephra's mic for a minute here.
But I think the signature, it said to dimwit from, and then his signature.
Yeah. It was at least in the sub it said to Kojiro dimwit.
Or Cherry called dimwit.
The usual insult. And I don't know if there's really anything to take from this, but when they're having the party on the rooftop, with the boys and having food and everything, and then of course Adam shows up to crash the party.
Yeah.
And when he jumps and everyone's just oh my God, he's coming. I don't know. That Joe and Cherry ran away in the same direction.
They're gone. Bye-bye. So there's one more thing I want to mention before we move on to the tropes.
Okay.
The intermissions, or the middle part of the episode, has the chibi drawings of them skating and stuff, right?
Yeah.
The Joe and Cherry one is kind of funny where they're all racing, seeing who can jump the furthest, like the long jump, right? Or who can skate the long. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But Joe does it for the first half, and then all the girls are flaunting over him, you know, obviously.
Yes.
And then the second half is Cherry coming down, and Carla turns into a fucking airplane and flies away with him. And I actually paused it because I wanted to make sure Joe is waving to him like, bye. Everybody else is like, what the fuck just happened? And Joe is like, yep, this is normal, Kaoru.
Yeah, I loved that. I thought that was really funny. But there was the other one too, where like Joe purposely serves him noodles that are really, really spicy.
Yes.
But Kaoru eats them. But then he's like, comes over like, huh, you ate those? But like, I don't know, like he burps or something in Joe's face, and like he gets torched by it.
Breathes fire.
Breathes fire because it's too hot.
Well, to me, that like for me in real life, it'd probably be like a like a burp, and him being like, whoa.
No, that one was pretty good too.
And afterwards, he's just petting his lip face, like all composed, like that didn't just happen.
But then, like you said, like Joe being like totally like, yeah, that's something Cherry would do, with Carla turning into an airplane.
Yep.
But like when he pulls his power break during his race with Longa, Cherry says that it means that his needlessly bulky body isn't all for show.
Yep.
So it's like they know each other skating so well, they'll know what they'll do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just love the fact that it's very clear to see just how well they know each other without having them be on the screen every single episode together. You can just tell how well they know each other. And I love it. It's great writing, honestly.
I want more content.
I mean, I want more content too, but I love it.
For what
Yes.
they gave us was really good.
Yes, agreed.
I can't wait for more.
Me
Season 2.
too. Me too, guys. Ladies, it's time for the tropes.
Our
Alrighty, who wants to start off?
I will. Me.
Okay,
me.
Juno.
Pick me. Pick me.
I already picked you.
Pick me. You didn't point at me. Pick me. Yay!
I got her to point at me.
I was just blinking at her for a minute.
No going steady. Characters date each other without becoming an official couple.
That is, yeah. I could see that. And it's sometimes funny and sometimes fucking frustrating, though. I would love a date between the two of them, please.
Well, considering how many times Jerry goes to Joe's restaurant, I mean...
Yeah. Yeah.
And Joe cooks for him.
And you brought the kids.
I can see them pulling this shit when they become official. Please become official. Like purposely bringing the kids along, be like, ha ha. Just every once in a while, be like, you motherfucker.
Slap, slap, kiss. Characters in love argue with each other, then begin to kiss. So we're still waiting for that kiss.
It's still, though, they'll bicker, and then tell each other to be careful.
There.
It's the same type of, trope.
Yep.
And actually, I have one, friendly war, fighting done out of love rather than malice. And yeah, it's all their bickering is more lighthearted than it is actually to make each other mad or to, dump on each other.
I just see it as really aggressive flirting. That their nicknames for each other are Gorilla, Dimwit, Four Eyes, like not the usual sweetheart, dear, love.
Although Cherry does call Joe sweetie a few times in the dub.
Does he? I forgot that. I saw it in sub this time.
Oh,
so.
let me see if I have a quote, because there's one that's really funny where I think maybe Joe is critiquing something and, well, it's not how it works, sweetie, or something like that. So funny.
So a little bit more sweet when they're not around other people.
Yeah. Or when they're more isolated because it was when they were in the crowd watching the beef go on.
And everyone's too distracted with the beef to pay attention to those two.
I wouldn't be. If I was in that fucking crowd, I'd be watching the two of them. I wouldn't be caring about the race.
Oh, boy. Have signs. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And then I've mentioned this one before about rivalry as courtship. A romance that stems from two characters' rivalry.
Yep.
With them beefing at S all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Second love.
Oh.
The next person you fall in love with after your first love didn't work out. Sorry, Cherry.
Yeah.
No, not sorry, Cherry. Adam was a horrible choice.
No, I'm sorry that Cherry had to go, even fell for Adam in the first place.
Okay, I feel bad for Cherry in that regard, but fuck Adam. Like, fuck that shit. Like, no. Joe is the much better choice.
I wish he never fell for Adam. Joe is so much better.
Joe, why weren't you faster at catching Cherry that time he slipped up?
He was too busy charring his testicles for the local people.
Oh my god.
So mine is also a little bit more on the sadder side, but it's sweet. Converse with the unconscious. A ship tease moment where the character talks to their love interest while they're unconscious, often a very angsty way. This time it's not very angsty, but Joe definitely is like, we have each other, Kaoru. While Kaoru is just passed the fuck out.
Well, at least the angst comes from the fact that Adam walloped him and he's injured from all that shit.
And he probably passed out because of his injuries.
I mean, he ran away from the hospital earlier than he should have. I mean,
yeah,
no surprise that he collapsed in exhaustion when he got there.
Yep. So this brings us to our moment of truth. Captains, what is our vote? Do we ship them or sink them?
Ship them to the beach so they can have a proper hot springs honeymoon.
And apparently keep the boys away because they're going to interfere.
Yeah. Their antics.
Maybe hold the boys back so if Joe gets distracted, you send them in.
Yeah, that's true.
To get him back on track.
They're the second line of defense.
Yeah. But yes, let those two have a hot springs weekend together.
Mm-hmm.
I just had that the thought of the kids are there watching like things must be going well, and then imagine if Joe and Cherry actually kissed in front of them, they'd be like, oh my god, we're not supposed to be watching this.
Oh, that'd be so great. It would be like, whoa, I wasn't serious.
He would totally. He'd be like, oh god, it was just a joke.
Okay, ladies.
Wait, do you ship them?
That's what I'm about to get into.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
No.
Here's the thing.
Oh, no.
Here's the thing. I ship them.
Oh my god, you bitch.
No. Okay. Here's what I was going to say. If these two were in real life, I don't know if necessarily I would have shipped them. Just because I do see them as really fucking close friends.
This is not real life.
I know.
Sadly.
And that's why I ship them. Trust me, you don't have to come at me with your pitchforks. I do like this couple.
Oh, not a pitchfork, a squishy.
Oh, the fidget toys.
But damn, if they become official, Joe's got to lay off the ladies, man.
Oh my goodness.
I hope Joe is just laying it on the ladies to get Cherry jealous.
I could see that.
I could see
Potentially.
it.
And trying to get some more reaction out of Cherry. Man, he gets plenty, but he wants more.
Alrighty, well, thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening to us talk about your favorite ships, leave us a review on whatever platform you listen to. You are also welcome to send any couple recommendations or questions for our Roll for Ships to our email, battleshipspod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and we will see you guys next time. Next time, episode 14, Tomoe and Nanami from Kami-sama Kiss.